Hey. So
We made it.
We made it. So yeah. So I call this what do I call it? Stinky cell. Wise about Nylonase. Yeah, against the advice of my good friend Brandon, who thinks we should be kinder and nicer, but I don't know. Just not feeling it today. How about you?
I'm just tired. I'm brain dead.
Yeah, I'm kind of brain dead. So it's been a while since I looked at this Nylonase thing. So I don't know. Okay, some prep. I think in God, it was like the 60s or the 70s. These Japanese researchers discovered in one of their nylon factories, they had a pool that had nothing in it but this like junk from creating nylon, which is basically the monomer that they start out with that they hook together to make nylon. And I forget what it's called exactly. I got it somewhere, but it doesn't matter. So they found this bacteria was thriving in this environment. So they found out that it had an enzyme that was eating this waste, this industrial waste, right? So Ono, I think in 1984, came up with an idea or a theory that this was an entirely random sequence of amino acids that ended up creating an enzyme. And he thought it was from a frame shift on an existing enzyme, which would be lactamase, I think it was. And he was wrong. And so somewhere in the 90s, like 1994, which is 30 years ago, they discovered that no, that's not the case.
Let me know if there's anything else you're curious.
Sorry,
Scott,
Mom.
your voice. Oh, your voice has changed. You might want to loosen your trousers.
Yeah, my co-pilot's acting weird.
Okay. Anyway, so then the creationists basically took up it was used by some people in evolution as an example of just a random sequence of amino acids forming a protein, which I'm sure has happened a few times, but it's that is going to be like extremely rare in life. The most likely thing is that a protein gets modified. So anyway, so then I think it was in 1995 or something. This Yomo, I think, came out with a paper, and he discovered that this lactamase. Okay, there were three different kinds of lactamase. I wonder if I can get a picture up here, just to sort this out. Okay, so oh my goodness, I gotta get rid of me. Am I properly getting rid of me? I did. Okay. So there's oh my God, and they don't mention which bacteria they are, but okay. So F-Nylb right here, right, is what they named, and that's the one that they found in this particular bacteria that was eating the byproduct. And they F-Nylb is the real Nylonase, even though they found some older paralogs, F-Nylb prime and P-Nylb in an entirely different bacteria. They found that they were basically common ancestors about 148 million years ago. And the creationists said, oh my God, it's existed for 148 million years, it's Nylonase. And evolutionists were just wrong about evolution, doing this thing at all. And so because they just happened to name P-Nyle-B after the Nylonase, which they already knew, and that's kind of a historical artifact. These are actually ancient lactamases. They attack lactic acid and a few other compounds. And what happened is the Nile-B, the F-Nyle-B strain, there's a channel, and it has to do with a zinc ion, even though it's not a zinc finger technically. It's got a zinc ion that it uses to break down lactic acid, or so, probably lactic acid and a few other things. And it's existed in bacteria going back maybe 300 million years or longer that this protein was around. Well, it had a channel where it kind of grabs up the molecule that it's attacking. So it's got a little pocket where the molecule fits into it. And that lactamase will attack this nylon waste with about 2% efficiency. Okay. But then F-Nyle-B in this one bacteria changed a few amino acids, and it has 100% efficiency for, it's the measure. We're going to call that 100% efficient because all of a sudden it fits this weird chemical that didn't exist in nature perfectly, right? So it was a channel modification. Am I making myself clear here, Scott? You understanding, or are you typing?
Yes, it makes sense. No, I'm not typing.
Okay. You were. I see you typing all over the place. I see you.
No,
anyway. Okay. So so basically this F-Nyle-B in this one strain of bacteria made a few amino acid changes, and that is a perfect example of how evolution works. These enzymes, if you modify them just a little bit, they'll have an entirely new function. They'll eat something entirely different. And it happens in bacteria all the time. P-Nyle-B sounds so, it's got to be from the devil. I think it is. So anyway, so that's what we know about it today. And there is nothing in there that, oh, Maya, shut up. What are you saying? Saying I'm not letting Scott talk. Anyway, so this is just the evolutionary story. These enzymes, they will duplicate. You'll end up with 2 or 3 of them, one reading backwards, one reading forward, whatever. And then there'll be some modifications, and all of a sudden you've got a different protein. You've got a different, it's almost like speciation of proteins. Mm-hmm. And they'll branch off. And one of them, if you're in that right environment, will end up being selected by natural selection, and we have evolution of proteins, and we can see it before our eyes.
It's a chemical that gets modified and put to use.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, Cordova makes a big deal out of this. I'm trying to, let's see here. I was trying to, I wanted to play. Okay, he just did a thing with this Anthony. It's one of his student victims that he's teaching things.
Yeah.
Anthony's already a creationist. Oh, another thing, Dennis Venema is a evangelical Christian.
Okay.
Who is with Biologos.
Okay.
And creationists hate him because he believes in evolution, right? He believes in all the science. Dennis Venema.
So basically AIG hates him.
Yeah, and Cell and a whole bunch of other people. And Cell's had a whole bunch of back and forth with him. And I think at one time Dennis Venema made the mistake of going with Ono's theory about the frame shift. And mm-hmm. Dennis admitted he had to say he was wrong. So they had this big article, Dennis Venema admits he's wrong and all that stuff. And he's done a whole bunch of pushback. And I'm going to link one of his articles in Biologos, which is the old Earth creationist people, I believe. I will link that. So anyway, so we have the family here. So The only one here is F-Nylb. That's the one that actually has the high rate of enzymatic activity. That's where the evolution happened. That's what we're talking about. There is no hoax. We've known about this for 30 years. But
since young Earth creationists are basically your conspiracy junkie theorists, they have to write things like the Nylonase hoax and such and such.
That's what they got to do. So let me see here. What else we got? Oh, do I have that one? Okay, and that one. Oh, here's Dennis Venema's article, Biological Information and Intelligent Design, which I shall link in my description so you can read it. This one isn't about Nylonase, even though he has a bunch of articles on Nylonase. He's going back and forth with people all the time on this. But this is a really good article about chemical evolution, and it's worth a read. I will try to put it in my video description. And it's all kind of lies about Dennis Venema. He says that in 2016, he said he was still going on about Ono's frame shift, and from what I can gather, no, he wasn't. He admitted that that was wrong, and I don't understand why Cell is trying to malign this man. Only, I think, because they've had a lot of heated back and forth.
Yeah, because Sal is a very sad, spiteful little man.
He is a very spiteful little man. Okay, I put that in my description, so we got that. So there we have it. I think. Hello, Robin Hood. Saying hi to me. I like that. Anyway, yeah, I think that's about it. You have any questions about that? I mean, there's no big surprise here. The lactamase, okay, Cell Cordova and what's his name? Sanford, the genetic entropy guy. They wrote a paper back in, I don't know, the 90s or the early 2000s, I think, where they were pointing out, oh my God, they admitted that these two bacteria split 148,000 years ago, or 148 million years ago, and they both had this lactamase ability, right? Or this Nylonase ability. No, they didn't. The ones that split did not have it. They would only work about 2% of the time, because that's how chemicals work. But the one that we're talking about, the one that recently made those changes, probably in the 1950s or 1930s when they started making nylon, that one just evolved. That's the one that's 100% efficient. So that's where he's lying. He's flat out fucking lying about this stuff. And it really is kind of irritating to hear them lie to, especially youngsters.
Lie to youngsters and spread more misinformation.
Yep. Chrome tab. You think the Nylonase? You'd think StreamYard would find this video, but seems to be having a little bit of trouble. I don't know why. Oh, there we go. Got it. Come on. Are you sharing?
Am I sharing? Why would I share?
No, I'm not talking.
I'm against sharing.
I'm mumbling to myself. Oh, I'm sharing. Oh, okay. Okay, let me go ahead and play this a little bit. We're telling fibs. What is going on now? Huh. Wow, that's interesting.
I was asking was the article said that it made the claim that the new Nylonase enzyme or enzymes were not derivative of any pre-existing enzyme. That is to say, there was no pre-existing enzyme that had a similar function to it, and then it just got slightly modified by a small mutation or something like that, then to do the Nylonase activity. They said that is not what happened. And from what I remember of reading on the technical publications, some of yours and others, as best I could, was that inherently not true. That is just an outright.
Okay, that was Ono's original claim that it was a frame shift in an entirely different one, which was shown to be false 40 years ago. So anyway, that's what he's talking about, and they won't let it go.
A false statement that they are 100% derived from a pre-existing, I think it said like a carboxylase group. Or I might have that wrong. It's been a while since I went over it.
It's even worse than that. They were never new to begin with, and some of the ones that already existed could break down the nylon.
Well, that's just majorly damning for their case.
Okay, is he right about that? Hello, are you talking? No, you're muted.
I was. God damn. How am I now? Okay. So, no, this is where Cell is lying. This is where they're telling a real fib here, okay? Yes, the lactamase will work on that compound at about 2% efficiency. Probably not enough to sustain bacteria if that's all they have to eat, right? It was the F-Nylb1 that had 100% efficiency, and that was a thing that changed recently. So it wasn't like, okay, 148 million years ago, these two bacteria split up, and they can see how many mutated. Basically, they can look by the molecular clock and figure out that they split 148 million years ago. They both had this protein, lactamase. They probably had it for 100 million years before that. And then one of the lines in this pool that the Japanese discovered developed a few new mutations that made it 100% effective, right? And that's what Cell is lying about. He's saying, oh yeah, it could eat. They found out that it could eat, it could eat this chemical. Yeah. There are probably a lot of enzymes that can do a lot of things at low efficiency, basically, because chemistry is very, very messy and stochastic. So anyway, does that clear it up, Scott?
Yeah, why does he want to lie like that? Just to make it seem like everything's just trivial and
well, look at his face. Look at his face.
He just loves to lie.
Yeah, this is what charlatans do. And he's got a victim here. He's got a young victim, and he's talking about creating this educational platform. He really wants to get at the children.
I want to lie to those children.
He wants to lie to the children. He's really trying to get something going. They should make a Saturday morning Cell cartoon show. That would be pretty incredible. But anyway, let's see.
Okay, so this is where the American Society of not molecular, microbiology. Microbiology deals with microbes like bacteria, and I think they're eukaryotic microbes as well, like fungi. Yeast. I'm sorry. So let me see. I had. Let's see. Let's see.
I don't know where he goes next. I'm not sure where he's going. I haven't watched the entire thing. That's the end of the story. It's a really good example of molecular evolution, and it still is. Still a really, really good example. End of story.
That clears that up. Sal, once again, is wrong at best.
Yep.
But now he's just trying to clout chase by being the guy who uncovered the fraud of the Nylonase bacteria or protein.
Yeah, him and Sanford wrote this big, long paper, and I don't think Cell had hardly anything to do with it. Back at that time, I don't think he even understood carbon chemistry back then when they wrote this paper. And Sanford let him put his name on it. which is something that anybody could do. I could even do that. I just decided I had not going to do that yet. Cordova 2020, testing the hypothesis. Okay. So, oh, this is how you get published. Oh, let's see. Where are we here? The Cordova paper. This paper, I want to take a look at it and see what else they say. But this is where Sanford is making the claim that, oh, the bacteria could do that all along. So it's, so evolution is false, that sort of thing. And it just doesn't hold water. Let me take this guy down. Full screen layout. We'll go back to this, back to that, and we'll go to that. Okay, so this is the paper that they wrote. And oh, this is in 2020. What the hell? What was it? 2020? Oh my goodness, they're still going on about it then. This is by John Sanford and Cordova. Anyway, it's a long paper. I think it's kind of long. It's got 10, 15 pages. Anyway, I'll have to go over it again someday, but God, do I really care that much? Because the garbage that they're spouting just doesn't hold water. So anyway,
well, the misinformation needs to be countered. I mean, they've got a much bigger, I guess you could call it market penetration. They've got a much bigger crowd that they're misinforming. So anything that honest people can do to present the facts and hopefully misinformed eyes can see it or hear it and get a corrected view of the world. That's what we really need to hope for.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Even Grinch Lynchpin made a comment on this video. Haven't seen that person for a while.
Wonder how old Grinch Lynchpin is.
I don't know. Hasn't been around for a long time since the Protein Orchard thing. And I've been trying to reach out to this person and get him on the channel because he kind of had a lot to say about Protein Orchards, and I thought that was pretty cool. But anyway, okay, that's all I got. Should we?
I guess we need to call it an evening, call it an afternoon, whatever time of day it is.
Yeah, I think we'll keep this short so that we don't scare people away with the length of the video. We've already gotten 22 minutes.
True.
Oxygen comes from the O-type star. So who's Atheist 5K? Okay, we got Robin Hood, we got Maya. Or should we try to open it up? Does anybody have an interest in coming in and talking? Scream now because we're gonna say goodbye, cruel world. Okay, I think we're out of here, Scott.
All right. Well, thank you for coming by, everybody.
Yep. And you asked a question this morning, and I hope I've answered it for you.
You certainly did on a nice chart.
Okay, good enough. So, goodbye, cruel world.